It started on an ordinary Thursday, the kind of day where you don't expect your life to quietly split in two. My name is Ilara Finch, and for nearly a year, I believed I had found the one. His name was supposedly Rowan Dale, the man who made me believe in soulmates. We met online, like most modern fairy tales begin, on a photography forum where people shared travel shots and gear tips. I had posted a sunset photo from my trip to Lisbon, and he'd commented something like, "The light here feels like forgiveness." I should have known then that anyone who wrote like that was either a poet or a performer, maybe both. But at the time, it felt magnetic, the kind of attention that makes you believe someone truly sees you. Our first conversation stretched until 2 in the morning, then the next day, and the day after that. We talked about everything: books, old regrets, favorite cities, the way grief changes a person. I was cautious at first, but Rowan had a calm confidence that made it easy to trust him. He said he was a freelance financial consultant who'd left the corporate grind to find peace in the art of simplicity. He lived about 2 hours away, but we planned to meet soon. I didn't rush it. I liked the slow burn, the intimacy of words before touch. We built something I thought was rare. He'd text me first thing in the morning, "Coffee or tea today?" He remembered details: how I liked cinnamon in my oatmeal, how I hated my middle name, how I missed my late father on Sundays. He was attentive in a way that felt real. And then, one day, he was gone. No text, no call, no explanation. Just silence. At first, I thought something had happened to him. I called, but the number was disconnected. His social profiles vanished overnight. His email bounced back. It was as if he had been deleted from the world. I tried to be rational. People ghost. Maybe he got scared. Maybe he met someone else. Maybe he died. I replayed every message, looking for clues, but nothing made sense. The grief that followed was worse than any breakup. It wasn't heartbreak. It was confusion sharpened by humiliation. You can't mourn properly when the story ends without a body. Weeks turned into months, and the silence hardened into something cold inside me. I stopped checking my phone at night. I deleted our old chats, twice, but the memory lingered, like smoke in a room you can't air out. And then, one random afternoon, I saw him. It happened while scrolling Instagram, the numbing ritual I'd adopted instead of journaling. A mutual acquaintance had posted wedding photos, tagged with a name that made my heart stop: Rowan Dale. There he was, in a tailored navy suit, smiling beside a woman in a white lace gown. The caption: "Congratulations to Rowan and Lydia." My hands shook as I zoomed in on the photo. Same jawline, same smile, but he looked different. Or maybe I did, because this time all I saw was the lie. I clicked on his new profile, and that's when the real unraveling began. He wasn't Rowan Dale anymore. His name was Caleb Doran. His bio said, "Entrepreneur, investor, husband to @Lydia Doran, living my best life." The man I had mourned had resurrected himself into someone else's perfect story. I scrolled, heart hammering, through their honeymoon pictures, their engagement posts, their anniversary countdowns. The timestamps overlapped with the months he'd been messaging me. He'd been building 2 lives at once. One of them was fake. I wasn't sure which. For a long moment, I just stared at the screen, torn between disbelief and fury. Then, instinctively, I took screenshots. Every post, every comment, every inconsistency. I noticed little things he'd told me that didn't match his supposed real life: the job title, the locations, even his middle name. The details diverged like cracked glass, and the more I looked, the clearer the fracture became. He wasn't just a liar, he was a professional one. That night, I poured a glass of wine and opened my old folder, the one I'd created during our time together. Photos he'd sent, voice notes, receipts, and the occasional proof of his existence. When I listened to his old messages, his voice felt foreign, too smooth, too deliberate. He'd once said, "Truth isn't what we tell people, it's what we let them believe." I'd laughed at the time. Now, it felt like a confession I'd missed in plain sight. The next morning, I started digging. I ran a reverse image search on one of his old photos. It led me to a different LinkedIn profile, Caleb Doran, independent financial strategist. The photo matched, but the history didn't. He'd claimed to be a freelancer, but his listed company was a small financial firm in downtown Seattle. Curious, I called the number. "Hi," I said, steadying my voice. "I'm trying to reach Caleb Doran. Is he available?" The receptionist paused. "He's in meetings all day. Can I take a message?" I hung up without replying. The fact that he existed, truly existed, made it worse. Because that meant every lie had been intentional, rehearsed, not an identity crisis, but a manipulation. I could have walked away. I could have deleted everything and forced myself to move on. But something inside me refused to stay the ghost in his story. If he could build his fake happiness off deceit, I could tear it down with truth. I spent the next few nights gathering everything. The old texts where he confessed I've never loved anyone like this. The wire transfer he once sent for plane tickets he never used. The financial documents he'd accidentally left visible in a photo. Then I noticed something chilling. One of the documents bore another woman's name under a joint credit application. Lydia Doran, the wife. She had been there the whole time. He hadn't ghosted me to start over. He'd ghosted me to clean up his double life. I couldn't even imagine what she thought she'd married. That night, I created an anonymous email account. No threats, no theatrics, just truth. I attached the screenshots, the chat logs, the photos, and the financial inconsistencies. My message was simple. You don't know who your husband really is, but you deserve to. I did too. He told me his name was Rowan Dale. I hesitated before hitting send. Then I did. I expected nothing. Maybe she'd ignore it, maybe he'd delete it before she saw it. But 2 days later, social media erupted. Lydia's account went private. His professional page was flooded with comments. Scammer, fraud, how many more women? Within hours, the story spread. Screenshots surfaced in online groups. Someone posted the email I'd sent, blurred but recognizable. By evening, the financial firm's website quietly removed his profile. He disappeared again, but this time, it wasn't by choice. His new life didn't just collapse, it detonated. His company filed a statement confirming financial misconduct under review. Lydia filed for divorce within a week. Every trace of their marriage vanished from her account, replaced by a single post. Lies can't last forever. I watched the fallout unfold with a strange mix of relief and sorrow. It wasn't joy, it wasn't revenge, it was justice. Messy, digital, public justice. For the first time, I didn't feel like a ghost. I felt seen again. Still, part of me wondered why he did it. Why create fake names, fake lives, fake promises? One night, curiosity got the better of me. I logged into the forum where we'd first met. His account was gone, of course, but I searched the username rdale. Nothing. Then, out of habit, I typed C. Doran. A profile appeared, brand new, active, under the guise of someone else. He was back. Different photos, different stories, same patterns. I stared at the screen for a long time, my pulse steady this time. Then I took screenshots again and sent them not to his new followers, not to his firm, not even to Lydia. I sent them to the site moderators. Within hours, his account was banned. I didn't need another explosion. I just wanted silence. A month later, I visited Lisbon again, the place where it all began. I stood by the ocean, holding my camera, watching the sun melt into the water. I took a photo, gold light rippling across the waves, and smiled. The light didn't feel like forgiveness this time. It felt like freedom. I posted it online that night with a simple caption. Sometimes the ghosts aren't people. They're versions of us we had to outgrow. The post went viral, not because of the image, but because people felt it. The comments filled with strangers sharing their own digital heartbreaks, their own ghosts. I realized something then. Revenge had never been the point. Truth was. The kind of truth that doesn't scream, but simply stands tall and undeniable. Months later, I got an unexpected email from Lydia. "Thank you," it read. "You saved me from years of living a lie. I hope you found peace." I wrote back, "I did. Eventually. I hope you do too." We never spoke again, but that small exchange felt like closure, real closure, not the kind that depends on someone else's apology. I moved cities after that, started working as a digital identity consultant, helping others protect themselves from scams and online deceit. Funny, isn't it, how the worst chapter of your life can become the one that gives you purpose? Every time I meet a client who says he vanished without a word, I see a flash of my old reflection, the version of me who waited for answers that would never come. And I tell them the truth. Sometimes ghosts disappear because the truth is about to catch them. That's all it ever was, a man running from his own lies, and a woman who stopped letting those lies define her. The day I deleted the last of his photos, I didn't feel anger, just quiet finality. His world had burned. Mine had begun again.
You've just stepped into her revenge side, where every wound finds its justice, and every silence ends with truth. If her story struck a chord, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. Another secret waits in the next video. See how her revenge begins.